Go ahead and start that up, passing like the damn relay. You forgot your place, now we in your face, it's time to pay.
It's TGI Now time, back again in the K420 studio discussing real authentic truth talk, freedom of speech, and living in the now. Freeing your mind.
One episode at a time. Shit, we trying.
Boom.
Cool. And just like that, we back.
We back.
Back with our man, with the main man from the Do You Ruck Give a Ruck Foundation, Jimmy.
Yo.
Just glad to have you back, brother.
What's going on? Glad to be here, man.
What's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
Just running around like a madman, like always. Just a normal day within the Do You Give a Ruck organization.
Yeah. Jimmy was with us about 2 years ago.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
At the old cave.
I still got the green t-shirt, and then you got the red t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep. The old cave. This is the Cave 420 Studio 2.0.
2.0. Yeah, twice the size.
Oh, good. Now it's twice the size. 2.0.
Yeah, we were in the closet before, but it worked.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. We wanted to have you back on because I know you've been preparing for this event you got coming up this weekend, so I figured we'd give you a final plug, push for the weekend, and get some people to show up.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. We put a lot of work into this event. We've been doing this event since 2021, started over at the Kaiser campus down in Port St. Lucie, but we moved it over to the Indian River State College Ruck campus.
Nice.
And the reason we did that is because they have a military division over there, and they have this own program where they help, veterans and active duty military specifically. And at the Pruitt campus, they actually have a Veteran for Excellence Center.
Oh, okay.
So veterans can go over there, hang out in between classes, play Xbox, meet each other. They have their own little snacks and everything like that over there. We mostly do our meetings there, like our board meetings and whatnot.
All right.
So we work with Indian River State College pretty closely. They also send a lot of their students that need to get volunteer hours to go in social services and whatnot. Since we help other people and whatnot, we qualify for that, and we're able to help them get their diploma and whatnot. Cool. But this event is a really special event. Not only do we raise funding for our local veterans, but we also raise supplies for the impoverished, the homeless as well.
Okay.
But we also pay honor and homage to the first responders that died on 9/11.
Oh, okay.
And the way that we do that, we do a 3.43 mile ruck march. We'll be going through the St. Lucie County community in Port St. Lucie, and we'll be going actually through the St. Lucie Met Stadium.
Nice.
And during the state, when we go through the stadium, on the jumbotron they'll have all the first responders that we lost, so everybody can.
And we're gonna show a video of that too
and whatnot. So it's just a special experience. We have over 42 sponsors this year, as I was saying earlier. We have over 20 vendors. We got over $20,000 in raffle prizes. The U.S. Army sponsored this event, the U.S. Marines, the U.S. Navy, the U.S., not the U.S., but the Florida National Guard, they also sponsored it this year. The only two that aren't really going to be out there is the Air Force and the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard doesn't really have a recruiting station around here. They got a station over at Fort Pierce, but it's for active duty.
Gotcha.
And they're always out on mission. But they're a big supporter of ours as well. But it's really hard to get the Air Force out there because, it's the Air Force. So
tell for the people that didn't catch the first podcast we had, tell us a little bit about the organization and what how you got it started and what it stands for.
So about 5 years ago, I went through some struggles as well as a veteran and coming back from serving in the global war on terror, and had ran into some troubles. And when I got through with all the trouble that I went through, I said to myself, there's got to be, hundreds of other veterans out there just like me.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have a whole lot of money. And so the concept of rucking came to me. Everybody's like doing Go Ruck and the Red Silky Hike and a lot of other stuff, which those are all awesome programs, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But nobody's actually doing anything that's 100% going back to the veteran population. And with our organization, that's what we wanted to do. Yeah. Initially, when we started out, we were fundraising for other organizations. But over the years and the course of time, you deal with a lot of nonprofits, and sometimes the money goes to what it's supposed to, and sometimes it doesn't. And so that became a concern for our board. And so we decided to develop our own programs. And so, we've taken a step towards helping veterans directly instead of indirectly now. Gotcha. And, because of that, we've been able to put roofs on veterans' houses. We've been able to do AC change outs. We replaced panels. We've done, we have programs that help veterans with their cars. We provide rental assistance, mortgage assistance. We provide assistance for veterans that are struggling with groceries. Just last week, I got a call from Indian River State College, new veteran coming out, just getting out of the military, just got his GI Bill, going through college. The GI Bill is helping him pay for things, but it's not paying his complete mortgage and everything like that. Yeah. The guy can't get a job. His wife is a Latina, and they got 2 kids, and she's just new in this country, doesn't have a whole lot of friends. And he collapsed the other day from stress. Wow. The anxiety. They had to rush him down to West Palm, thought he was having a heart attack. This all came to light. Indian River State College contacted us. We were able to meet up with a spouse, provide $600 worth of grocery assistance right there on the spot. Wow. And then another organization stepped up and paid off the remaining balance of the mortgage. So, not the entire mortgage, but caught it back up. You know what I'm saying? Caught it back up. But, that's just one of the examples. But we're really taking a more direct approach on the things that other organizations can't touch, or like the VA per se. The VA is not going to be able to help you fix your car. No. The VA is not going to come out there and fix your roof or your AC, Right. And in fact, we have a lot of the social workers over at the VA contacting us now about veterans in our area, helping us, get assistance through us. Wow. So, it's been a blessing to see what this organization has become over time. Yep. We're very fortunate to have the followers and the supporters and the sponsors and everybody that's really towed the line with us over the last 5 years. We've gotten to a point now where we donated out over $400,000.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. In 5 years.
That's great.
And you got to understand that this organization started with me and my brother. And at the time when I started this, I was driving a Jeep Liberty and a busted phone, you know what I'm saying, from years ago. And it was old and outdated. And I was renting a room with my son, And so people have to understand that you can follow your dreams and do awesome things if you really dedicate your life to it. Yeah. And I've dedicated my life to this mission and helping our veterans, and I'll do it until I can't no more.
You've turned it into a passion. You turned it into your mission into a passion. And that's what we strive to do.
That's what we talk about all the time. If you put your passion into it, if something's a passion, it's not something that's a chore, because it's a passion. You know what I mean? So, that's awesome, bro. When you feel. It's not even so much about the money, because I don't even hear you talking about how much money you've made. All you keep on talking about is how much you've given away. Mm-hmm. And I see the pleasure. I see it in your face listening to you. I'm right here. And plus, I know you, Jim. I know the love you have for us veterans. You know what I mean? You have a love and respect. You honor us. This country has forgotten about us. And we need more men like you to stand up and, do something for us veterans. A lot of us are homeless, like you said. A lot of us are struggling. You have all these other programs for all these other people coming into this country illegally, but you have veterans who fucking gave their lives, willing to give their lives, their legs, their arms for this country, and yet they're being forgotten. But you've shown your love, Tunnels to Towers, all these other organizations that have stepped up. You being one of them. Hey, listen, you're talking about 5 years you've done this. Think about 5 years from now when you're back on here and we're talking about your organization, where it's at. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're going to say, we've given away $20 million. Yeah. We've helped out with $20 million. We've helped out thousands of veterans. We built homes for veterans. You see? That's what I see in the future, because this is your passion. Yeah. And in 5 years, you've given away $400,000. In 5 more years, you're going to do 10 times that.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. 4 million, 20 million.
Right.
Because the passion is not something you're doing to recognize Johnny. Look at Johnny. Yeah. It's not about Johnny. You know what I mean? It's about the veterans.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, I mean. It's about everything that we do for other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Jimmy?
Yeah, I do. I mean, for me, it's always been a passion. It's never really been about the money. I mean, eventually one day, right now I work as an electrician full time. Almost everybody in my organization has a full time job, and those guys and gals are phenomenal. They give back more than a lot of other people do, and a lot of them have served, and a lot of them are civilians, but they feel the same passion that we feel. Even though they didn't serve, they want to, help our veterans. Some of them are married to veterans. Some of them have veterans in their family. And, I agree with a lot of sentiment. I feel that a lot of times that veterans do get passed over, and that I believe that a lot more organizations should be stepping up to, toe the line and do their part. But, it's important for organizations like us to exist because there are going to be veterans that fall through the cracks. And, I keep telling people this, the VA has made leaps and bounds over the years, from where I was when I was getting treatment to now. Yeah. I've seen some progress, but they're only limited on some of the resources. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And you got the same people that go there to work every day and have to see thousands of veterans over and over and over and over and over again. In my opinion, the VA should, to flex more money and get more staff instead of, building new facilities and invest into these facilities, make them nicer, but, maybe add a wing onto them instead of building a whole new facility and use the influx of money that you have left over from the funding to hire the people to see more veterans. Yeah. The issue is veterans have a long waiting list before they can be seen because there's so many veterans that need to be seen and not enough medical staff to do it. And that's what the real issue is. Well, I'm not paying devil's advocate for the VA. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
I got my own battles with those guys. Yeah. But within my time in this nonprofit organization, I've seen a lot of the VA workers go out of their way when all the avenues have been exhausted within the VA and they reach out to us. Gotcha. So, there is some good people over at the VA. Don't get me wrong. I do think that, our government should be towing the line a little bit more for us, and they should be making sure that veterans, when they get out, they should have employment opportunities, which they do in certain degrees. But say a guy like me that was infantry, there's no jobs for us out here unless I want to become a cop or something like that, right? Yeah. What if I want to be a mechanical engineer or something? Nothing. They should have programs for trades and stuff like that, and education programs for veterans right when they get out or when they're getting out to help them transition back into civilian life.
Rondell says that, yeah.
Yeah.
So
they used to have a program that was tied in, but then somehow that the Job Corps, remember?
Yep.
Job Corps.
Somehow that got separated. They weren't given that option anymore for people. It's either you took the GI Bill and you went to school or something, or that Job Corps thing. For some reason, that was probably the best thing for people. Just like you just said, people with infantry. There's not much for somebody that my job is watching and observing.
Yeah,
making sure order is in order. Yeah. It's not much for somebody like that, except being a cop.
It's true. Yeah.
Those were the options too. When I came out of the military, was like be a cop or do something like that. I mean, there aren't too many options, like Jimmy just mentioned, for veterans who get out. So what happens? They end up working in fucking McDonald's and bullshit jobs, and these are guys that were fucking allowed to use $1 million machinery. Fucking handling heavy equipment. I mean, everything that they had wasn't cheap, and here now they go out to fucking flip burgers or shit like that, because nothing is given to them, you know what I mean? Like there's no respect or honor for veterans today. It's funny. When I was in the military back in the 80s, I went through the airport in my uniform. Little kids wanted to take pictures of me. Right, yeah. It was like, I was getting saluted. Yeah. It was an amazing experience walking through the airport. I feel like crying, man. you know, when you walk through with your uniform, your Class A's, you know what I'm saying? Coming home, you know, and it was different. Now today, you know, you look at, you know,
it's not the same.
It's not the same. They're not giving the honor, the love, you know, they're not giving the love, you know, that they deserve. Because,
and I think that's exactly what Jimmy's doing with his foundation, with his organization,
giving the love.
Because I mean, you respect, you know, the events that you do that honor the, you know, the fallen at 9/11, coming up on the anniversary here this real soon. You're doing that kind of stuff. I mean, it's giving the love, like Eddie said, that you're giving it back, because you know what it feels like to, you know, to be, you know, come back from a foreign land and be like, you know, now what do I do? Where do I begin? What am I going to do? Like, how am I going to survive? You know?
Well, you know, I think a lot of veterans not only struggle when they come back with their identity, because their whole life they've been this person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that a lot of veterans also struggle when they come back because of job opportunities. You know, I think that, you know, a lot of people, they get out and they expect that these job opportunities are going to be available for them, and that these people, everybody has these perceptions that, you know, soldiers are awesome, or Marines or service members are held in high regards. But when you get out, nobody really gives a shit about that.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying, man? They care about your performance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact that you're a veteran is a plus, because they can say, yeah, man, I got a high-speed veteran that works for me. And people look at that and they're like, oh, cool, he hires veterans and whatnot. And I'm not taking away from, you know, employers that do, you know, employ veterans and they respect them and whatnot, because I work for a company that respects the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? And there are employers out there that really do care, you know. So, but what I'm going with that is, you know, the way that the perception of the military personnel has changed over the years. You know, I think after 9/11, you know, there was a huge influx of patriotism, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, you know.
We got together, we united.
Exactly. Back in the 80s and 90s, I mean, we kicked ass. I mean, we went through Grenada, the Gulf War, we were winning.
Beirut,
And so everybody was like, yeah.
There we go.
And then what happened, in my opinion, is we went into a 20-year war.
100%.
And so, you know, over a time of 20-year war, a lot of atrocities happen, you know, whether it's war crimes, you know. And another thing that's changed over that time period is everything's streamed now. You can see the entire war happening unfold right in front of you, and in real time now. You know, everything, and social media demonizes the actions of a lot of military personnel without, you know, actually knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
And so then you become the enemy.
It's become entertainment too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's become entertainment for these news watchers. I say news watchers, these people who want to be hypnotized by these news things. You know, they like it because, wow, look what's going on. Wow. You know, but they're not out there, you know what I mean? And then when, again, like you said, when they come back, they're not honored. You know, they don't remember the old wows that they gave to the guys that went out there and fought, you know. You see a guy without his legs, some people don't even want to look at them because they feel, man, fucking shake that man's hand. You know what I mean? Shake that fucking man's hand. He ain't got no fucking legs because he wanted you to have some freedom. So he thought, because this bullshit 20-year war wasn't for freedom, it was for oil. It was for money. Vietnam was for control. The World War. When we speak about war, we speak about World War I, World War II, the Korean War. Those were wars for freedom. The Civil War. Those were wars for freedom. These other wars were about money. Vietnam, Iraq, fucking Desert Storm, all this bullshit. Afghanistan, what happened to these fucking 13 soldiers who passed away, and the 45, the 450 that got fucking smashed up. You know what I mean? Over that fucking debacle. It's this administration, you know, not to go back to Trump, but when Trump was president, people were joining the military. You know, people ain't joining the military anymore, bro.
They're going to start a draft, supposedly.
Bro, because no one else wants to join, bro. It's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? And who you think they're going to draft, bro? They're going to draft all these fucking immigrants, bro. Make them citizens. You know, back in the day, I think it was in the Second World War, that if you were an immigrant, if you fought, no. It was in the fucking, I think it was the Civil War, right? That if the Indians fought, right, with the Confederates, they'll get that freedom. The blacks too.
They did they were doing that in the Navy. They had people from Guam, people from Finland. People they were getting their citizenship coming through.
The Union did that with the Irish.
Yeah.
So I mean, we all pay our part.
But what I'm saying is that now you have over 10 million fucking immigrants that came into this country in these past 3.5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what are you going to do with them? I mean, most of them are military-age men. Come on, bro. Why not? Fucking fight from the inside.
They got to go back.
Because if you're fighting from the inside, if the enemy is within, then what?
You can't do nothing.
You know, I got to tell you, man, maybe it's fucking conspiracy, but I think this whole fucking thing is all set up. You know, they're just fucking trying to fucking seriously wipe us out with fucking demolishing our military, making it fucking
that was all part of it. That was all part of it.
Military.
Well, that was all part of it. Was to weaken our country, to weaken the military. That's
the first part of it
was to weaken us from the inside.
You got to think about it because COVID.
That was happening before COVID, though.
Took half of the military out. Because think about it, if you didn't take that shit, they sent you home.
That was the final push. Yeah.
So if you didn't take
it, was already weak.
They sent you home on like a suspension
because of.
You know how hard it was to get out of the military back in the 80s, bro.
Yeah. No, so it wasn't. They didn't kick them out. They weren't kicked out. They sent them home. Said you're on suspension basically because you won't take it.
Yeah.
Well, bro,
and the other half that took it got heart problems now. They can't even re-sign because they can't pass their physical. You took half the military out. That's what they did.
Yeah.
It was already doing it.
They weakened the military too. They made us pussies. They made them pussies. Because I tell you this, man, when I was in the military, not for nothing, I don't know how long ago you were in the military, motherfucking Joe Sergeant put his fucking boot in my head and made me eat dirt, bro.
We got our ass.
You know what I'm saying?
This new shit,
there was none of that shit about you can't touch. That motherfucking Joe Sergeant said, knock my head, bro.
Let's stare at him.
Let him hit you. The hardest part of your body is right here. Right? Fucking hit me with that on my fucking chest. Drop me right on my fucking floor. Get up, soldier.
Get your ass up.
Yeah. And you wanted to get out the military? There was no fucking getting out of the military. You fucking signed up, you're going to fucking stick it through. Fail.
I would not. I wasn't in the military.
But I tell you, that's how it was back in the 80s. It was tough.
I'm just paying attention.
Then the fucking, the millennial military came in and things changed. True story.
No, I
you can't touch an inmate.
That part I agree with you because I can see it from an out.
At the end, I did start seeing that. They were like, I guess people were, that's why they don't let you get phone privileges the way you do, because people started calling home, they're getting lawyers and shit. Yeah, he hit me. Fucking then it's cases on the RDTs and shit. It's like, what the fuck,
all
bro?
that was on purpose. Because remember,
start seeing them with different color ropes because they're on probation and shit.
Remember what Trump says when he got into office? The cupboards were bare. The cupboards were bare. The Obama administration and prior, they were weakening the military. They did it on purpose. He got in there and strengthened the military to make it better, to make it stronger. And he saw what they did. He was like, holy shit! Like, what did they do? They destroyed our insides. What is it? This is not good. Right. So he's seeing that, and this is what's being fixed. It's going to be fixed. We're gonna get back to greatness. Things that Jimmy's doing in his life, the things he's doing, this is what's going to get us back to greatness. Is doing the local stuff, doing the right thing, giving back, helping these guys that did go over there.
100%. We need more.
We need more of it. Exactly. That's the whole point.
You know, not to take away from politics, but you know, I tell people all this all the time. You know, politics, they affect our lives in a different way, where it's, you know, a lot of people will say it doesn't have to do with gas, but in my opinion, I think that politics has to do with gas and other aspects of our lives, cost of living and everything like that. But we can't control that. But what we can control is the stuff that happens right here in our own backyard.
Thank you.
That's what I always talk about.
You know, I think that politics doesn't really affect a whole lot of nonprofits in that way, because we're going to keep working regardless of what happens, because there's always going to be that need. Mm-hmm. There's a need right here in the community, you know, and, you know, the White House isn't going to come down here to Vero Beach.
No.
And they're not going to be like, hey, we're here to provide assistance.
They're already here in Vero Beach.
There are fuckers. You know, you're right. They're not going to do anything that needs to be fixed that we see on the surface. We're the ones that live in it. We live in this town. We see the difference. You see what's happening.
Unless they lock everybody down again.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody gets locked down.
Yeah.
Fucking, they fucking put the Patriot Act in full force, and more than 3 people hanging out with the same type of deal is a fucking. Well,
that's where we have to come together. That's
why it becomes that. You know. Okay, so point. You know, we have to be careful, because remember, Patriot Act in full force if us four together in a pack, they call us a cool.
Well, they're already that the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act was set up so they could surveil us even more than they did before. That's all that was. That just
let's
surveilled.
not forget.
So now they know everything about us. They
Big
know everything.
brother, whatever
they know
they
everything.
want to call that motherfucker. I don't know why they call him Big Brother. He ain't my brother, but he's watching.
Well, you have to figure out how to work around the government per se. Like, say COVID, right, when it first happened. The reason that we moved this whole event to Port St. Lucie was because we originally, before 2020, we started in 2019, we helped tunnels to towers.
Yeah.
We used to go out there and Ruck during their event, advertise for them, say, hey, we support tunnels and towers, right? Yeah. COVID hits, right? All the local firefighters, they still want to do tunnels to tower thing. Mm-hmm. Tunnels tower cancels the event.
Yeah, I remember
well, the local firefighters reached out to us. And they're like, hey, we want to still do the event. We want, still honor our brothers and sisters.
Okay.
And, we can't organize anything because we may get in trouble.
Yeah.
But you're a nonprofit. And we know that we heard about your reputation. You'll work with us and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so I did. And so I went and I held, I was like, we're going to still do this. And Tunnels Tower contacted me. And they told me if I do the event that they were going to sue me. And I was all like, well, I don't care. I'm still going to do the event.
Yeah.
I would rename the event under my 501c3.
Yeah.
I live here in Vero Beach. I'm a local.
Right.
You're not going to tell me where I can do an event on what day and what I can't do.
Exactly.
And then they try to get the local government involved. And they were like, oh, well, we highly recommend you not do this event and whatnot. And I'm like, you just had a Blue Lives Matter march the other day. You just had a Black Lives Matter march the other day, right there on the bridge. I said, what's the difference between me doing a walk right now in a public area? It's all like, you can't stop it. I was like, I got the right to assemble.
For real.
So, you got to use your amendment rights, brother. I mean, your constitutional rights.
Yeah.
You have to protect yourself and know that your own laws and whatnot.
Exactly. We're free and sovereign. Yeah.
So, it does happen. People try to put pressure on you in those situations.
Yeah.
But if you stick to your guns and whatnot, I believe that you can make things happen.
What that is, bro, in business? That's called trying to eliminate the competition. See, which is sad because you're both. I'll tell you this. I'll give you an example. Steve Renfro owns House of Gains. I went to his gym. It's a lot like mine. So I wish him the very best. I recommend people to him, right? Because I'm not in competition with Steve. I want us all to win. You understand? So Tunnels to Towers telling me hearing this for the first time, that they were willing to sue you for you doing something that was right, only tells me that they didn't want you to do it because they weren't going to get the publicity. Mm-hmm. You see, that means that they're in competition, not for you to win, but for them to win. See, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I know that in business it's like that. A lot of companies, I heard this from a motivational speaker. How do you build the tallest building? By knocking down the other building? Or just by building the fucking tallest building? Don't even worry about the other one. You know what I mean? So that's what they should have did. They should have supported you. Say, hey, listen, thanks for looking out. We appreciate you.
You're right.
We picked up some funds. Let us send it to you. This way it'll help your event. That's what they should have did, because I'm sure they got some money prior to the event that they didn't get back. So they could have donated some of that to you, being that you were doing it, being that they were doing the same thing. You see? So that kind of like put me in a different light with Tunnels to Towers. Yeah. Honestly, when he said it.
I know you're a supporter.
Yeah, I'm a supporter of Tunnels to Towers.
Yeah.
So when he said that to me, I was like, okay. You know what I mean? So they're too big to allow another organization, allow them to grow with you.
Especially during a situation like
Yeah,
that.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
You did the right thing standing up for yourself. Fuck them.
But no, I mean, we had a pretty good event that year. We had probably, 100 people came out.
I remember the event.
And they sent the fire truck out, and that was even during the height of COVID. You know what I'm saying, man? I mean,
We spoke about that event.
We did.
In our last podcast with you.
And, I don't want to take anything away from Tunnels Towers, because what they do is amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure
and I'm sure they had their reasons, but, at the end of the day, you got a nonprofit that's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, 100%.
And even if we're out there wearing our mask and observing, space like we're supposed to and everything,
Right.
I'm still going to do the right thing, even though I think it's
Don't
ridiculous.
worry about it, Jimmy. You didn't say it. I said it.
Yeah.
I said it. That guy, bro. That shit is another recording. You were saying you come in. I got you good. Tell them it's good. But what I'm saying, it just shocked me. That's all. I would expect them to support a smaller organization to help them grow.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Just like you said, it's probably just because they couldn't be present that day, or
And they
it wasn't
couldn't
a good
get your
time for
credit.
them.
Yeah, but that's not cool.
It's not, because that's separation. You're not trying to work
thing
together.
is that you're a big ass organization.
It's selfish. It's
And
real
it's not
selfish.
even that. You're a big ass organization and you're bullying a little organization saying you're going to sue them. You're expecting them to say, oh, okay, I won't do it.
During a pandemic, too.
Fuck yeah.
During a
You're
pandemic,
speaking
too.
to a motherfucking soldier, bro. You ain't going to say it.
Good luck. Dude, wish you
You
good luck.
crazy? It's like telling me no.
Right.
Huh? I'm doing it, bro. You
Unbelievable.
crazy?
Yeah.
I'll see you in court.
Yeah, sue me. Send the paperwork. I
Right.
got nothing.
What else you want me to say?
Take my bills,
Right,
please.
right.
And you get those?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, bro. But let me tell you, when I mentioned Johnny before, it's because I was thinking about the fucking chicken
Pizza.
color. No, it mean that when I came in, bro.
Like, what is this?
I don't know, bro. I normally eat the Italian. Like that's how come you said you're Italian. Like not my chicken color.
No, you can
But
have either one.
no. I took half of it. It was fucking delicious, bro. Oh, bro, did you see the cheese coming out of that bread?
When you showed it, I was like,
Oh my
There
god!
you go. Look at
bro.
that.
Like, what's this?
Look at that. Yeah, we're going to get that next time.
Oh, bro,
That's
I gotta tell you,
good
Caps.
shit.
You know, you speak about
Look at that
sponsors
thing.
and everything else. Oh man, what is
What
that?
is that?
That's a new one. I don't forget what he called it. It was, it's
good.
good. It's half calzone. It's got half calzone.
Half
It's got,
pizza,
it's got
fucking garlic
nuts
nuts.
on top. Yeah, it's the
Oh, bro, that shit looks good.
It's the beast.
Hell
Look at that
yeah,
thing. Look at that.
bro, we gotta get that next time. Hell yeah!
That'll kill me.
I tell you,
Look at
Johnny.
that.
Oh, bro, that's a better shot.
It's a pizzone.
Wow, look at that shit. That shit is
That's
awesome.
great. Looks good, John.
It looks delicious. There you go.
There you go. There
Yeah.
it is. Wow, that's great.
Man, listen, Johnny, thank you so much. We appreciate Caps and happy birthday to Cappy. It was his birthday, so just want to wish you a happy
Oh, that's
birthday,
right. Yeah.
Cappy.
And Uncle Dell too.
Yeah, Uncle Dell's birthday too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
We got the cupcakes here for Uncle
We got
Dell.
the cupcakes for Dell and his birthday.
I'm getting old.
Birthday balloon.
Yeah. So I just want to wish you all a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Dell.
appreciate it.
Yeah, just thanks a lot. We always appreciate your support. If you guys seriously, if you guys want a good pizza, check them out. They're out by Oslo and 27th. Cat's Pizza. Make sure you give them a call. What's the number, John? They need to reach Caps.
772-770-2277 CAPS. Knocking out pizza since 1987. I know Jimmy's been there a lot.
Yeah. Oh
It
yeah.
goes way back, right?
Yeah, a good place to go, bro. I mean, who hasn't? If you've lived in this town long enough, you've been in Caps.
Right,
And
yeah.
if you haven't been in Caps and you've been in this house long enough, you need to go a little
do a
down.
drive.
Right. That's the truth.
Swing.
Oh man,
Yep.
yeah. Look how they serve the food, bro. It's not just pizza, dude.
It's good stuff, man.
But yeah, man. So
Check them out. Give them a
Make
call.
sure you-
Tell them TGI Now sent you 10% off. Call and order online too if you can. It's capspizzamenu.com. Check
Thanks
them
a lot,
out,
Johnny.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny, again. We got to get Johnny on the show. He keeps
yeah,
every
he
time.
keeps on saying he's gonna come on, but he's so busy.
I know. It's like he comes. He's like, I'm
Making pizza,
I'm
making
busy. I'm
pizza,
busy.
pizza,
I'm busy.
pizza.
I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm like, all right, whatever, man.
You know that Gus's guy won, right?
Oh, he did win.
Yeah,
Oh, Gus wants to come on the show too. Yeah, I think
Gus
you
is
know Gus.
coming
Gus
on the
Curran.
show.
Yeah, you know Gus.
Yeah, so his guy won, and I think he's training a guy now in Ireland.
Okay, because he said he'd be back in September. He wanted to come on. He wanted to come on the show. He's like, I want to come on the show. He's like, I'm ready.
Yeah,
It's been like
yeah.
a year since he's been on. Yeah.
He brings his nice
He
big
texted me.
cigars.
He's like, I want to go cigar.
Big old cigars. But yeah, so just a shout out to Gus that his guy in Poland won, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And he's training a guy in Ireland now. So.
That's great, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Gus is a good patriot, man.
Gus Curran over at House of Champions, a friend of the show, and we'll have him back on again here real soon as well.
Yeah. So what's next, Jimmy? Let's talk about your future events.
So the one that we have coming up on September 7th, we put a lot of work into this event. This is going to be the fourth year, as I was saying earlier. over 42 sponsors sponsor this event. We have over 20 vendors, at least 6 food trucks coming out. We got face painters, bounce houses, the U.S. Army, U.S. Navy, U.S. Marines, the Florida National Guard sponsored it this year. So a lot of them are going to be sending, troops out there or personnel that are going to be bringing military vehicles. St. Lucie County SWAT's going to be coming out there. We'll be doing a 3.43 mile ruck march to honor the 343 firefighters we lost during 9/11. As I was saying earlier, the ruck actually goes around the Port St. Lucie community. We'll be going through the St. Lucie Met Stadium. If you haven't been there, it's a beautiful stadium. And we'll actually be walking around the field on the inside. And on the Jumbotron right there itself, you'll be able to see all the firefighters and first responders that we lost on 9/11. We got Deserted Will coming out this year. They're going to be covering a lot of early 2000s, mid 2000s rock music and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like the emo and stuff like that we had like when we were growing up or when we were younger. Just a wide variety of sponsors, that are going to be out there. We had everybody from financial brokers to dispensaries,
Nice. Nice. All right.
become sponsors for this event. So, our movement has really picked up tractions over the years. A lot of local businesses are noticing the things that we're doing in our communities, like putting roofs on veterans' houses and everything like that. So, this event really encompasses the community. With the Boy Scouts going to be out there, we got Leader Cheer that's going to be out there, and those are like people that are going to be greeting us when we come back in from the ruck. Last year, we raised about 2 tons of supplies that went back to the actual community that needed it. And then we raised about $30,000 last year total. This year, we're probably up to about 15 right now. And I'm really happy about that going into the event. We're already past 200 signups.
Nice.
And, this event just keeps growing every year. We have a JROTC competition to encourage the kids now to take an interest into the military and see the avenues and the opportunities that the military, actually offers you, there's a lot of camaraderie at these events. A lot of military veterans connect with each other. It's just a great event. You can see a lot of people here, running, passing out water and whatnot. The Treasure Coast Jeep Club's going to be there, setting up stack displays. We just have a whole lot going on with this event, and it gets bigger and bigger every year. After this event is over, we'll be rolling into our November events. We partnered with the city of Port St. Lucie for Vet Fest, and that's going to be over at McCartney Ranch.
Nice.
And they're going to be holding like huge festival to benefit local veteran organizations, and we've been chosen as one of the organizations.
Nice.
We got our big Dyer Chevrolet Veterans Day Barbecue Challenge going on, and it's $10 for all you can eat. Pretty much, you become a judge yourself. You walk up and you got a wristband, and they hand you like free samples of everything that they got, and you eat it, and then you drop a ticket. Last year we had over 20 teams out there, so good luck eating all that food. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. That gives me, I think about that's a good idea, because I was thinking, anytime you need us to do anything like that, helping out, and if we maybe we can do a podcast from your event one day too.
Oh, well, yeah, man, for sure. And then on top of it, I'm going to be looking for a barbecue team this year, so maybe we could do like a late night podcast, and y'all can come over there.
Yeah. We can partner up with the other podcast too. To the Point podcast, and we could come over and do like a whole thing. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, we could even get Benford out there.
Yeah. We got a group of people. Yeah,
we got. Those are just like our November events. We got Dyer Chevrolet one, and we got the one with the city of Port St. Lucie. Last year, we donated a lot of meals to a lot of first responders that were on duty.
Okay.
And then we also delivered to nursing homes and less fortunate families that signed up for our food program. We went and delivered turkey dinners for them and whatnot.
Okay. All right.
We may or may not do that this year. It depends on how much manpower I have. And then we'll be wrapping up the year with Operation Ruckmas.
Okay.
And that's our longest running event. We've been doing that one for 5 years total. And what we do is we ruck about 2 miles and we pack our packs full of toys. And at the end of it, we donate it to local programs.
That's
So
awesome.
Toys for Tots. Last year, we went into inner city use. We worked with the Fort Pierce Police Department and passed out toys and the alphabets. If you're familiar with that area, it's
Yeah.
it's kind of
It's rough.
it's rough.
Oh yeah.
So we were out there at night and passed toys out to them. We went to a lot of senior facilities, passed out slippers and a lot of goods for the senior veterans and whatnot. So it's a good time to feel. It's a good time of year, but it's awesome to be able to give back. To a lot of people that don't have a whole lot or can't afford a whole lot. And you got to think, in perspective, a lot of these kids ain't going to get shit for Christmas unless you step up.
Yeah.
So, it's always, a joy at the end of the year when we're doing these kind of events because a lot of times the pressure is off of us. We're
100%. Yeah.
and we're just out there enjoying it. The one that we have coming up in September and the one that we do in March, the obstacle course run that we do every year. Those are like our big fundraising events that we host, and that is just madness because you're running around for like 3 months trying to get sponsors, vendors, and then special guest speakers, performers, and then you got to get volunteers. And then you got to get funding for everything, and then you got to, get all everybody's logos into your printer, and then you got to,
I don't
help
miss,
with
I don't miss those
design.
days, brother. Believe me.
Plus, you got to do 8 hours of work.
Yeah. And then if you
Never got to go to work.
and then if you're like,
You know what I mean? It's not like you're doing this. This is the only thing you do.
Yeah.
He has a family. He has a wife at home. He has,
Kids,
you know what I mean? He has an 8-hour job, a full-time job. So, just to say this is not the only thing he's doing. Right.
Right.
When he's saying it, it's a lot because he's doing it after a lot. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Crazy.
I mean, a lot of people don't realize this, but like I was saying earlier, I work for an electrician. A lot of my days involve me climbing through at least 3 or 4 attics in the Florida heat, and especially down here in South Florida, temperatures reach up to 140 degrees temperature in those
Insane out
attics.
there, yeah.
You're only good up there for about 30 or 40 minutes or you're looking to pass out.
Oh,
you got
yeah.
to take turns going up there and coming out and
dude.
whatnot.
Fuck.
But, a lot of my volunteers or people that volunteer with this organization, we have a Florida Fish and Wildlife officer that's with us. We had hold on, I'm trying to think the political way to say this. We have a awesome female that used to work over at Costco, but just switched over to special needs children.
Okay.
And then we got a guy that is a head brewer over at Hop Life Brewing Company. His wife was involved with our organization. She's a dietitian. My wife works full time as well. She's involved with our organization. My treasurer is my boss in my real job.
Okay.
She owns Apex Electric.
Okay.
One of our board members, she also owns Roll Off Chick, which is a dumpster removal company. They'll go out and set dumpsters and you throw all your shit in there and remove it for you and everything. And then, we only have two or three veterans that are actually 100% disabled.
Okay.
Another one of our volunteers works for St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office as a dispatcher. A lot of us, have a lot of variety of jobs at work, a lot of different hours. Some are more physical, some are more mental, And so it's give or take with this organization. You have a lot of people that give and give and give when they can give, And so we're always looking for volunteers to help, lighten our load per se, because it's hard. It's like I was telling, some of our board members the other day, I can take 2 or 3 days off work because I can afford that.
Yeah.
I can go out and fundraise for those 2 or 3 days, but we're supposed to go and pick up the checks and do photos and everything like that afterwards.
Yeah.
So I can make the deal, but I need somebody to come behind me to seal the deal.
Oh, yeah.
And within there lies the issue.
Yeah.
I get a lot of people that come to me and be like, man, I wish I could be part of your organization, but my back's messed up, my leg's messed up, I can't ruck, man. And I'm like, man, somebody like you is gold to me.
Yep.
I need somebody that's missing a leg or missing an arm or something like that can go out and meet people and be the face of this organization, be an advocate for this organization. You know, a lot of veterans that get out, and like I was saying earlier, they're trying to find purpose and whatnot. What if this was their purpose? You know, what if instead of waking up every morning and figuring out what you're going to do that day, you woke up with a clear mission again? I need to go do this. I need to fundraise for this. I have this I can help this veteran.
He's got goals and mission, and give him a mission.
So let's put a shout out there.
Yeah.
If there's any veterans listening to the show, you're disabled. I know we have some veterans who listen to the show. Contact Jimmy. Jimmy, how can they contact you, bro? If they need to contact you to volunteer.
Well, I mean, my number's out there in the world already. If you go to Google and you Google "Do You Give a Ruck," that's going to be my phone number. So my phone number is 772-584-5157. Or you can contact us through our website at doyougivearuck.com or directly at doyougivearuck@gmail.com. And it's RUCK. Do you give a ruck, all spelled out.
Yep. There you go. Put up on the screen there for you.
Put that out there, you know.
Yeah.
Because you're right, you know, a lot of people, I mean, it happens all the time, you know. It's like, say, like you're going to move, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you a hand, but like that Saturday when you go to move, nobody's picking up their phones.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling too well, man.
Nobody's picking up the phone, bro.
It's so true.
Yeah, I mean, but they want to help when they're in front of you. They got the passion. And, I want to do this. And then comes that Saturday at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're going to go knock on some doors. You know, I forgot I had this appointment, you know.
Well, you know, it goes back to what I was discussing earlier. You know, I had a high-speed ranger that came out and spoke at one of our events. You know, we always try to have like guest speakers that have military experience and whatnot, but this guy's like all jacked and everything like that. And, you know, as an infantry guy, you always look up to like the Rangers, SF, you know, because you know, infantry's hard charges, but those guys, they're swinging dicks, you know. Yeah. So, you know, this guy, he made a lot of sense to me. He's like, you know, a lot of people here chose to be out here. You could have been in bed, cuddling your animals, hugging your wife or your husband, and, you know, doing your morning routine with your kids. Yeah. But you chose to be out here on a hot day to benefit our local veterans. Mm-hmm. You chose discomfort over comfort. And that's what a lot of our service members choose every day.
Yeah,
you know, and so showing up is half the battle. You know, and so that's the mentality that I look at when I go towards these events. You know, Martin Treptow, I don't know if y'all know who Martin Treptow is.
The name sounds familiar.
He was an infantry soldier with the Rainbow Division during World War One.
Okay.
And he wrote a letter saying that he would fight and pretty much his whole spirit would be in the war as if the war depended on him himself.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality that you have to have moving forward, because at the end of the day, you know, if you're really passionate about something in your mission, you have to show up. You have to be the motivator who's going to motivate for everybody else. You know, you have to be the leader.
Yep.
And, you know, that encompasses the good times, the bad times, you know, the wins, the failures, and everything like that. And when things go wrong, you're going to be the guy that everybody points at.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you're choosing to do the hard thing instead of the easy thing.
Yeah.
And that's what sets people apart that are really involved within this organization that want to go the extra mile for our veterans. You know, it's about doing what's right, even if it breaks you almost, you know. I mean, that's, and I think a lot of that comes from my military upbringing. You know, I joined the Army at 17. I was just a kid, you know, and so I've done research on this, you know, the male brain, a lot of the development years is 17 through 23. Yeah, 17, 23.
Yeah.
So my whole prime adult life within that time was military. It's ingrained into you. I don't care if you only served 4 or 6 years or whatever. Those are the prime characteristics that you pick up. That's what's going to carry you for the rest of your life as a man. Mm-hmm. So, you know, for me, that's the way that I look at life. Yeah. You know, I always have to be on mission. And another good point, you know, I was watching a Marine the other day, and, you know, he made a very valid point. You know, in the military, we're taught to thrive on chaos, right? Chaos is our manifesto. You know, we thrive on chaos in the battlefield. We're trained for it. you know, when things go wrong out in the field or on mission, you just kind of have to sit there and laugh because, you know, that's just the military thing. So when you come back home, right, and you come back and get a good job and you get an awesome wife like my wife, and you have kids that are doing great and everything like that, your body starts going into meltdown mode because there's no chaos.
Oh.
You're not used to it. So what do you do then? You start making chaos
Start creating your own chaos.
by creating your own chaos.
To get back to order.
Exactly. And so a lot of veterans start drinking and doing drugs and doing all this other stuff because they're creating chaos in their lives. Yeah. That's what they thrive on. So for me, this organization has always been a good fit because I thrive on chaos. These events are chaos. You know, if I have to be somewhere 3 times or 4 times a day, I'm used to that. I thrive off that. I thrive off the stress. You know, my wife will tell you differently because there's been lots of nights that I lay up wide-eyed awake, wondering how I'm going to get by. You know, just like any other business owner. Being a nonprofit, you're still a business owner.
Same thing.
You know, people don't look at it as business, but it's still business at the end of the day. I still have to pay taxes to the government.
No, you're still responsible for your 501c3.
Yeah,
it's very easily, even easier than someone could lose that LLC.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I have to be on point with that, you know? And so, you know, I've been able to thrive on that and succeed because it's good chaos versus bad chaos.
Yeah, it's a passion, like we said before. Yeah.
And I can say that full-heartedly because I used to be a junkie.
Yeah.
I can say that, bro. I can say that. I was addicted to drugs really, really bad. And then that was the chaos that I did. Not only was I addicted to it, I sold it, bro. I controlled that chaos. I was making money off of it. Now I'm making money for other veterans off the chaos.
Yeah, right.
So I replaced one addiction with another addiction.
Yeah. Wow.
So a lot of people don't understand that. You know, and you have to understand the military mindset of a lot of these men and women. You know, that's their mindset. So you have to find the good chaos in your life.
Makes sense.
And when you make that good chaos, then you're going to see better results.
Wow.
You know, I could identify what you were just saying because as I'm thinking, as you were talking, right, when I came out of the military, I got high. I started using drugs too. My life got normal after the military. Before the military, it was fucking chaotic, you know. I don't know how you know. I got into the military because it was a choice, either that or Rikers Island. So I went into the military, but yeah, so you're right. Now, I find when I stress out my body in the gym, I find that to be my chaos. Like what people would think is fucking crazy. Like, what the fuck you doing there 2 hours, 3 hours a day? To me, it's fucking normal. I don't know. It's like it's sick. You know what I mean? But it helps. It adjusts my brain. It makes me, I don't know. It just, because when I went into the military, I was 19. So, yeah. You know, yeah, it kind of, I still fold my socks. I still fold my underwears. I still roll them.
Just like
I still do.
I have it all lined up in your own
and
drawer
I've been
for
out of the military
everything.
fucking almost 40 years. I still fucking roll my socks. I still roll my t-shirts. It's just,
like you said.
it's easy. I can find my shit.
When you said at that age, that's when it locks in, bro. I
Yeah.
was just like, damn, all the shit fucking.
You went in at 19. Yeah,
At 19.
you went in at 19.
I'm like, you're right. That shit locks in.
Yeah.
At that age, it's fucking stuck with you after. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
As it comes, I still speak to people and I say, sir. When I speak to
Everybody.
Sir?
I don't care who I'm talking
Yes, sir.
to. You older than
You
me,
know,
sir. How you doing, sir?
I look at you in the eyes.
know you, sir.
I don't shift my eyesight. You know what I mean? When I walk, I still walk like this. Like when I'm walking the beach, I still hip. Remember how they taught us how to fucking do that?
You remember the sides of the hallway, like how you walk the sides of the hallway?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Just like me.
So
If I see somebody walking the opposite direction, it messes with me.
Think if they did this, if they instructed this, if most kids after high school had to go to the military.
Like Taiwan.
We talked about that before.
How good would that be? 2 years in the military. Now, when they come out, they can go to college, don't have to worry about a loan.
They got structure.
Right? They were taught they were taught discipline. They go to college. Think about our next generation, how it would be if we just implemented that little thing.
Really self-reliant.
After high school, you go to the military for 2 years. You can do 2 and 4.
Not that long.
2, 4. You do 2 and 4 out, right? 6, serve your 6, right? And then
Yeah, we talked about that
the
before.
kids, they get free education, they get VA, medical, all that shit. And they don't have to worry about
indoctrination
Well, I mean,
camps.
you're pretty much describing what Switzerland and what other countries do.
Israel.
A lot of countries
Israel
do
does it as well. Switzerland's one of them. They actually give them the rifles after they get done serving. They like keep these in case of an invasion.
Yeah.
So like you'll see like people riding around on their bikes and shit with their rifles. And shit.
In Switzerland? Oh,
I
that's
think it's
fine.
Switzerland. It's one of the European countries. Don't quote me on Switzerland exactly, but I know it's one of the European countries. It's like that. Israel's like that. But there's other countries out there that demand at least 2 years of service.
Yep.
And I agree with him because, all right, say that we had the youngest and brightest of our generations coming into the military. Not only would you innovate technology and have some of the best and brightest
minds in there,
you would also have a return rate.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? If you restructure the military, like he's saying, where you had people come in and serve 2 years and they liked it and they kept doing it, you would have a higher retention rate. Not only that, but you would create a job market for them afterwards as well. Because think about it, if you contact companies, right, that specialize within their MOS, right, when they get out, they can transfer all their military training back into the civilian market. Now, and I say this because a firefighter or let's say a combat medic within the military, right, they go and get all their certs and shit. They come out and they have to redo all their shit over again because it don't mean anything.
It don't mean shit because I'm a combat medic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, even though
I couldn't be now in the military, I could cut your leg off.
Yeah.
I could do that. I could perform surgery on you, but outside, I can't put a fucking Band-Aid on you.
that's what I'm saying. Like, here's a better example. We run into an issue every year with ambulances during our obstacle course run event because it's 20 obstacle course and it's all military obstacle courses from Marine to Army Air Assault. It's built after those obstacles.
Gotcha.
And it's right there off the Fellsmere 95. You pass it all the time. I'm sure you've seen it. So, anyways, every year we have a struggle with getting EMS out there because either the county is busy or the fire department's busy, and you have to, put it in a request for it. Might get approved, might not get approved. We've hired a private ambulance one year. They sent somebody out. They sent a truck out. They didn't even have saline bags, and so. I was like, well, you know what? I said, a lot of us have combat lifesaver training from the military. And a lot of us, I do know some combat medics. I said, we can throw IVs on people, no problem. And I actually know a lot of the guys in the reserves and recruiting stations around here, and they're not allowed to do that shit, man. They're not allowed to touch us or anything like that when you're the civilians or anything, right?
Wow.
So, even if one of us goes down out there, they're not allowed to do anything. So it's crazy that even in the aspect that somebody like him, combat medics have to pretty much be doctors.
Right.
I
saved a guy's life doing the Heimlich one time at the Kia convention. That shit was fucking crazy. I was like, and then I was scared at the end. Like I was like, can I get in trouble for this?
No, you're good.
Like, am I allowed to do that? Like, I was like, the guy's alive. Fucking, he's not crying. He's not mad at me. He's alive. Fucking, I'm gonna sit my ass down and be quiet. Like, that's what exactly.
But in combat, I went to Fort Sam Houston, right, for combat medic training. There, I mean, it's a whole year. The MOS is almost a year, right? You're fucking learning everything. How to literally amputate a leg. Dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're saying, I came out and I thought maybe I could work as a firefighter or ambulance guy. No, you got to get recertified. You got to go through the whole thing again. So everything I learned was for shit. That's what he's saying. That and that's the fucked up part. Now my son went to the Air Force and he was an electronical person. Now he's an electronical engineer. I guess it's the MOS you pick, but if you pick like an infantry, a combat medic, or somebody that something that has to do with like, being out in combat, don't mean shit out here, bro.
It's the same.
You be a
Fucking,
cop.
if I would have took courses for engineering, they would have counted what I was doing as a gas turbine mechanic in the Navy.
Yeah.
When I got out, they were like, "Oh, you haven't gone to flight school." I'm like, "What do you mean? I did like 3 months of training with this shit. All this? I did my time. I fucking worked on planes, done everything." And I'm just like, "Yeah, you got to go back to school for all of that."
Yeah.
Fuck that. I don't think I'll trust. If I got to go back to school, I'm gonna start something completely
I
different.
got buddies that were helicopter mechanics over in the Army shit.
Yeah,
And
Fort
can't
Sill,
get a job out
you
here.
can't do nothing.
Oh,
Fort Sills, Oklahoma.
They don't count.
crazy.
That's what they did down in
crazy.
the west. in
Like,
Fort
so,
Sill.
I was like, what were we doing the whole time? Like, I didn't get a certification ticket. I thought about it. I was like,
Now,
they didn't give
if you
me a
stay 20 years in the
certification.
military, you can work as a medic
Oh,
in the military.
okay.
You can work in a hospital. You can work as a medical supply sergeant. You can do all that stuff in the
Okay.
military.
Military.
When you get out, there's no recognition.
Oh.
And that's a sad thing because those certifications should be just as good as any college education,
This is
even
true.
better because it's
You would think.
actual work. We're actually doing it. You know what I mean?
You would think.
Yeah, but it's
That would
not
have been
that
another
way.
8 years of school for you.
Oh, yeah, man. They would have fucking.
So, Jimmy,
Another 8 years before you could do anything.
the event's this Saturday coming up, right? This
Yes,
September
it starts
7th.
at 10 a.m. We're going to ask everybody to start showing up around 9:30 if they don't register online.
Okay.
They can register through our Facebook or go to doyougiveruck.com. We printed off 500 shirts this year.
Nice.
When you become a sponsor at our events, your logo goes on the back of our shirt. This year we have 500 shirts. We also have, there's just a portion of our
I was gonna
raffle
say, look at all
items.
that raffle items. Jesus.
That's just a portion though. Like I said, I still got like $2,000 worth of stuff from
Right.
Home Depot
Yeah.
and some other stuff. Like I said, like the wafer lights from Apex Electric Insulation. We got a water softener from Benjamin Franklin, a garage door opener. A lot of the trades are putting in their services and whatnot. We got raffle tickets from Mink House Tattoo. $100 raffle tickets for tattoos. Vets love their tattoos.
Yeah.
So we always try to encompass a lot of the raffle items that not per se. Oh, well, here's a 4-night stay on a cruise. I mean, realistically, unless you can get the time off work for that, I don't want to give somebody something that they can't use.
Exactly, yeah.
A lot of times when we go out and we get our raffle items, we get everyday use items. Like Xboxes, a Google Nest, or like what the little cameras that go on in front of you. I forgot what they're called.
GoPros?
Yeah.
No, the
Rings.
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 We like lawnmowers. This year we're going to have.
Yeah,
Other
you-
stuff that
that's
Yeah, we got an AR-15 this year.
That's right. Yeah. To bring that up.
So, just a little bit of everything. We
Yeah.
try to encompass, from adult all the way down to kids, and we,
Man, some kid's gonna win that AR-15.
yeah.
Jeez.
Well, all the laws have changed. Like I was sitting there because we've done raffle rifles before, right?
Yeah.
And the way that we've always done it is we went and got a gun shop to donate, or we purchased the rifle through the gun shop. Somebody wins it, and they have to do the background check.
Yeah.
In the state of Florida now, it doesn't even matter if you're buying an AR-15. You still got to do the 72-hour hold unless you have a concealed weapon permit.
Oh, jeez.
And then they changed the age from 18 to 21
Oh, jeez.
unless you're serving in the armed forces or in law enforcement.
See, a benefit joining in the military.
When you're 18, you can own a
When they are.
Yeah.
Right?
So, that was pretty wild
that's
because I
funny.
was all like, I got to look up my own, we're going to be trying to get a gunsmith or somebody like that to do all that for us this year when somebody wins it.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, just all the changes in the law since I was a kid. I mean, shit, when I was a kid and I first got, well, I say a kid, but when I was 23 and I first got out of the military, I was able to go buy a pistol the same day and then take it down to the sheriff's department and show them my DD-214, like, I was in the military.
Oh, my
And then they gave me my concealed weapons permit right there on the spot. I didn't have to prove shit to them,
Right? Oh, my
So,
God.
I mean, things have drastically changed since I've been out there, and
They're trying to kill the second because they're trying to kill the Second
Second Amendment. Yeah.
They're trying to take our guns from us. They're trying to make it hard for us to get them.
weaken everybody.
Even though we're a Second Amendment state, you still got to go through all the process, man.
Yep.
You know, having a gun.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
In Texas, is not that way though. In Texas, you can just have a gun. You can just buy them in the store.
Well,
Gunshots.
Yeah.
all right, well, check out the event coming up this weekend, September 7th. Check them out. It's at the Pruitt Center, like you said, 9:30, and Port St. Lucie. Do you give a ruck?
Yep.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be.
It
Epic.
is.
It's gonna be
It's gonna
another.
be
It's gonna be
epic.
another good one, man.
The only thing that's going to stop it is a hurricane. Even then, I'm going to be like Lieutenant Dan and Port Gun.
So we get through this.
Oh, that's funny. dude.
Best you got.
Right. Best you got. You call that a storm?
Yep.
That's great.
Be
Oh,
out
my
there like
God.
Florida man.
Right? You call that a storm? That's classic. Oh my goodness. Well, thanks for being on there, Jimmy. We really appreciate
well,
it.
thanks for
a
having
lot,
me
man.
again,
Thanks
man.
for being on the show. Thanks for the T-shirt. We appreciate it.
Yeah, really.
Well, thanks for
appreciate
the love and allowing me to be here today and being able to promote my event. You know, as a smaller nonprofit, it's harder to get our name out there than it is some other organizations. Every time you turn around, you know, you see people doing TV interviews and stuff like that. So, you know, even when we come and we do podcasts and stuff like that, anytime that we do this kind of stuff, it's really enjoyable because, you know, it's love that's directed towards the veteran
Yeah, man,
community because,
exactly.
you know, we're grassroots.
Yeah,
And that's what we
100%.
represent.
No, we
So-
appreciate you. I mean, we appreciate your foundation. I still wear your T-shirt. You kidding me?
I know. I work
I wear it all
out.
the time, but I got that green
It
ready to
makes me
fade it
look
out.
buff. It makes me look swole.
I'm like,
My girl's like, I love that shirt.
Yeah, good.
I like it on me too.
I'm gonna have to get whoever you use for shirts. I'm gonna get some shirts made
Yeah.
up too. We got a couple shirts on our website too. So
But Jimmy, thanks a lot, and
Yeah.
Caps, man, thank you so much for sponsoring the show. We always appreciate you, and please share the show. This is a good show to share.
Yeah, it is a
Share
good
the
one.
show,
Yeah.
man. You know, let other people know about Give a Rock Foundation, TGI now. What we're trying to put out there, you know. Again, we don't sell you anything, man. We're
No.
just here to tell the truth, man.
that's it. That's all it is.
God bless, guys.
All right, guys, stay human.
Love these chicken grease, baby. We out.
We out.